Yo, what's up, everybody? This your boy Aslan Williams, host of Spell Basketball, and today is the live stream today. And today is our news and updates. And so there was a lot that happened over this past week, and so we're gonna get into it. And so, first of all, if y'all have not, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Go to YouTube under Spell Basketball Show. That's where I'll be having all my content and everything like that. So, but I'm so glad to be here. I also just want to give honor and glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, I am nothing. I would not be here. So just want to give all honor and glory to him. And so also, if you have not subscribed, again, go to YouTube, subscribe, but also go to Instagram and follow at Spell Basketball Show on Instagram. Okay, at Spell Basketball Show on Instagram. All right. So with that being said, let's go on and get into the news and updates for today. So again, a lot happened last week. Okay, we saw Damian Lillard get traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. We saw Jrue Holiday yesterday morning get traded to the Boston Celtics, and then we also we just saw Jimmy Butler with a perm, and he looked like Ike Turner. Okay, so there's been a lot going on in this world of basketball, okay? But I'm so excited to be able to share that with you all. So our first topic today, we're going to talk about Damian Lillard being traded to the Milwaukee Bucks, okay? So in this trade, we had Damian Lillard go to Milwaukee. We also had Jrue Holiday go to the Portland Trailblazers, but it was also a three-team trade. So we also saw the Suns involved in this trade as well. So DeAndre Ayton from the Phoenix Suns did go to Portland with Jrue Holiday. And then also the Suns got Yusuf Nurkic, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, and also Grayson Allen from the Milwaukee Bucks. So with this trade, just talking about it a little bit, we have seen a lot of super teams, quote unquote, today. But we are super excited that, Dame got what he wanted. He asked to be traded from Portland after being there for 12 seasons. And so Dame did everything he could in Portland. And so, we just have to give Dame his props for it. He did what he could. Also, Dame did make a Western Conference Finals in Portland. If you all don't remember that, he actually did. But they just are in the rebuilding stage. And so moving forward, I do think that this trade was good for Damian Lillard. I know he had the desire to go to Miami with Ike Jimmy down there. But I believe this trade is not only good for Damian Lillard, but I think it's also good for Giannis. And so, we see Giannis definitely doing a lot in his time with, the Milwaukee Bucks. He's brought a championship to Milwaukee. And so now I think that we see help for Giannis on the offensive end. Now, losing Jrue Holiday you get better offensively, but you got worse defensively. Okay. And I don't want to say worse in a bad way, but you just didn't get better defensively. Dame could stick D, but he's not known for his defense like Jrue Holiday was. So Jrue Holiday did average 19 points with the Milwaukee Bucks. So you get better scoring. You have an automatic great scoring power with, Damian Lillard, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brook Lopez. And so you have a good set. So it just kind of boils down to who's going to be the one to guard the best player, like, Jrue Holiday did for Milwaukee. And so I do think this was a good trade, for Damian Lillard. I definitely think it shakes up the East. Now we also look at a Milwaukee Bucks team who was number one in the Eastern Conference last year. And, we're going to talk about that here shortly with the Eastern Conference previews, what I think is going to happen moving forward. But I think this was a good trade. I do think it was a good trade. I think that Portland didn't get a bad end of the stick. I think they got some players that, they could build on. You have Anthony Simons, Scoot Henderson, who they just drafted. You now have DeAndre Ayton. I do personally think that the Suns definitely did win big in that trade with adding a big and Yusuf Nurkic. And then they also have a little bit more depth on the bench. And so, in my opinion, in that trade, I do think that the Phoenix Suns did win out in that trade. But I do also believe that Milwaukee will still be top two in the Eastern Conference. And so I'm excited to see what happens. I know Dame is gonna provide something that Milwaukee hasn't had scoring wise, but they're gonna be an offensive juggernaut for sure. But we just definitely, it's one of those we'll see what happens things. The Eastern Conference definitely got better, which is what we're going to talk about in our next topic, moving forward. But for now, that's just how I feel about that Damian Lillard trade. I think it was a great addition for the Milwaukee Bucks. I definitely do think they are, top four favorites to win the title next year after making that trade. And it would be cool, to see Damian Lillard definitely get a championship. He's a great player, top, in my opinion, top 3 point guards in the league. And so I'm excited for that. Okay. So but moving forward, so next what we're going to talk about is Jrue Holiday being traded from Portland after getting traded for Damian Lillard to the Boston Celtics. So we'll talk about all the ins and outs of that moving forward. But right now, we have a quick commercial, and I'm sponsoring with Anthony Cotton and the Elevate Tour. So y'all tune into this real quick, and then we'll be back in about 25 seconds for our next topic. All right. This show is brought to you by the Elevate Tour, where Anthony Cotton merges the live music performance and a powerful message in order to inspire students to elevate their mindset and life. If you would like to book Anthony Cotton, visit his website at justsayyes.org/Anthony-Cotton/. All right, we are back again. If you all would like to book Anthony Cotton for any of your schools, go ahead and book him on that. So again, that's justsayes.org/Anthony-Cotton/. That's my brother right there. So he's doing big things. So I'm proud of him. But so our next topic that we're going to talk about is Jrue Holiday being traded twice in the last week. First from Milwaukee to Portland, now to the Boston Celtics. And this to me is so let's just backtrack. The Boston Celtics did trade Marcus Smart. Now, Marcus Smart was ex defensive player of the year, right? So I thought Boston did lose some defense when it came to getting rid of Marcus Smart. But they traded for Jrue Holiday, again, one of the best defensive players in the league. So now where Boston lacked in defense on the guard spot, they have regained that, but also got more scoring from Jrue Holiday. Again, Jrue Holiday averaged about 19 points a game for Milwaukee last season. So you have to look at that as not only did they get better defensively again, but now they have more offense to complement that. Now, in the trade, they did get rid of Robert Williams and Malcolm Brogdon. Now, Malcolm Brogdon is one of the best six men in the league. Robert Williams is a very good big when healthy, a good rebounder, a decent defender. And so I believe that Boston did get a little bit smaller, but for what they gave up, I believe they also gained as well. And so I am super excited to see this matchup between Boston and Milwaukee. I really am. I think Jrue Holiday has gotten himself into a great situation in Boston. Boston, again, was in the Eastern Conference semifinals last year. Almost came back down 3-0 to be the first team to come back and beat the Miami Heat, but Miami, knocked them off in Game 7. So I think Boston definitely got better with adding Jrue Holiday to the fray. And I know that when you are Boston has great defense. So they have they first of all, they just have a good defensive team, period. You have Jaylen Brown, you have Derek White, you added Kristaps Porzingis to the team. So Boston is definitely, they got a little smaller getting rid of Robert Williams, but adding Kristaps Porzingis makes them a little bit longer with Al Horford there. But it also gives them the opportunity to score from the outside. So Al Horford can knock down the three. Kristaps Porzingis can knock down the three. Literally their starting five, if their projected starting five, would be Jrue Holiday, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, and Kristaps Porzingis. That allows Al Horford to go to his regular position at the four, which is where I think he's a better player at the four than he is at the five. Now, he's played five majority of his career, but I think him being at the four is definitely a good place for him to be. And so with that, with adding, Kristaps and Jrue Holiday to the team, you definitely get more offense, and also I think you get more defense, especially adding Jrue Holiday after getting rid of Marcus Smart. So you have a great, two-way player in Jrue Holiday. You have a good offensive option in Kristaps Porzingis, and then you just have your core that's been there for the past few years in Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Al Horford. So I think it's going to really come down, and we'll talk about this in the next section as well, but we're going to come down to Boston and Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference on paper. That's what it looks like it's going to be. And so I think, again, that Jrue Holiday trade was big, is great. We'll see what happens with it, and we'll go from there. Okay, but we're going to have one more commercial. It's going to be about a minute long, but when we come back, I'm going to give you my predictions on the Eastern Conference, and who I think is going to take the East, why it's going to be more interesting than it's been in previous years. And look, I'm excited for it. So we're going to go to this commercial real quick, and then when we get back, we're going to talk about the Eastern Conference Finals previews. All right, we'll be right back.
Rollback Diabetes is a channel and a tool and a platform to provide you access to as much information and resources as possible on how to completely roll back and or manage diabetes better. Marty DeBose hopes to help you change how you think about food in order to make a lasting transformational change in what and how you eat. She wants to also help you all understand the real cause of diabetes and what to eat to reverse and manage it better. If you all would love to find out how to roll back diabetes, for those of you all who are diabetics, I would recommend that you go to rollbackdiabetes.com and get all the information that Marty DeBose has on how to roll back diabetes.
All right, we are back. And again, if you know somebody who's diabetic or have diabetes, I don't like saying that, or we're diagnosed with diabetes, go visit rollbackdiabetes.com. The next time we have on, I will have a link that you can go on to subscribe to their channel, get their tools and everything that they have for rolling back diabetes. I've actually been a partner with them. Amazing people, amazing information that you don't usually hear often. So again, if you know somebody who has diabetes, or if you know that you have it, go visit that website at rollbackdiabetes.com. It is very helpful and great people to interact with for that. Okay. So, all right. Our last topic of the evening tonight is the Eastern Conference preview. Okay. So again, we've been talking about the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks, the moves that they made, obtaining Damian Lillard and obtaining Jrue Holiday for the Boston Celtics. So in my opinion, for this Eastern Conference, I do believe the top two teams, and I think it could interchange, but I do believe the top two teams would be not Jrue Holiday, would be Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. And again, I say that kind of interchanges. Now, for the rest of the pack, we don't know what's going to happen. We saw a young Cleveland team last year that were first together, and they ended up, I believe it was fourth or fifth in the Eastern Conference, but they just couldn't gel like that. But they have more time. They have the same squad. They actually added a couple players that will be huge for them. They added Max Strus, who is a great shooter, from the Miami Heat. I do believe Miami lost some big pieces in the in the offseason, they lost Gabe Vincent to the Los Angeles Lakers and Max Strus to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Those were two players that were huge for the Miami Heat last year. And so I think Miami was kind of like betting on, getting Damian Lillard a lot, but that fell through. So now they don't have the point guard that helped them out last year, and they still have Kyle Lowry. But he's kind of getting up there in age. Still can produce, but getting up there in age. And then you have Caleb Martin, who showed out last year in the playoffs. He came up big, so I'm excited to see his growth and what more of a role he has on Miami. But the following pack outside the top two in Milwaukee and Boston, for me, we don't know what's going on in Philadelphia right now. James Harden hasn't been showing up to camp. He didn't show up to media day. He's literally refusing to be a part of the 76ers lineup. Now, the 76ers did pick up a major pickup in the offseason and getting Kelly Oubre from Charlotte. So I think Kelly Oubre would add a level of toughness and, a little bit of points here and there off the bench. But we don't know what's going on with James Harden. So it's kind of uncertain in Philly right now. But moving forward, the Knicks showed some promise. Jalen Brunson definitely shined last year. Julius Randle showed promise. Still kind of waiting for RJ Barrett to become more consistent. We don't know what's going to happen with the Knicks. The Knicks are kind of a up in the air team every single year. But again, we'll see. And then I spoke on the Heat. Don't know where they're going to fall this year, but the Heat are always tough and always right there every year. The rest of the field is just kind of open, if you ask me, in the Eastern Conference. We saw Chicago last year almost make the playoffs. They almost knocked the Heat out. It should have won that game, but lost in the last seconds of that game. So we'll see where Chicago lands. I think they really need Lonzo Ball, but it was said that Lonzo was going to be out for the season this year. I miss seeing Lonzo Ball playing, but he's definitely, in my opinion, the missing piece to that puzzle in Chicago. I mean, you have DeMar DeRozan, you have Zach LaVine, you have Nikola Vucevic, you have some good role players, Patrick Williams. So I think it's going to be interesting with Chicago if they can just get it going, if they can find some consistency throughout the season. I think they're a decent team to look out for. But the East is very heavy up top, and we don't know what's going to happen or who's going to shine through. But right now, I believe everybody's chasing Boston and Milwaukee. They loaded up. They got better. Both teams got better. And we'll just have to see. We definitely will have to see. But, for now, those are all the news and updates that we have for this week. We will be back next Monday for sure. But again, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, just go on YouTube and type in the search bar, spell basketball show, or type in my name, Aslan Williams. It will pop up on there. I have other content on that show. It's good. So go subscribe to that. Go to YouTube. Go to Instagram, not YouTube, but go to Instagram. Follow at Spell Basketball Show on Instagram. And again, I'm so glad to be here. This is my second live show, so hopefully next time I'll have a guest on. But that's the news and updates for this week. And so I pray that y'all have a very blessed day. I know it's so many things just happened this week. It's gonna be good. Sorry, the music was a little bit loud, so I had to turn it down. But that is the end of the show. I will catch up with y'all next week. This is Aslan. We got the stats, the facts, and all that. And y'all have a blessed night.